Welcome to our service. We are called All People, All Truths, House of Enlightenment. Please join us for our grounding meditation.
Good morning, APAF, both in person and online. Thank you for joining us today. We're so grateful for your presence and honored by it. We'll start today with our grounding meditation. So if you'll all close your eyes and stand up. I should say stand up and then close your eyes. Might be safer that way. We're going to start with our root chakra today. And our root chakra is red, and it is located at the base of our spine. So I want you to imagine that space being red at the very bottom of your spine, and focus on that. Now our root chakra grounds us to Mother Earth, and it is responsible for our grounding in life, our connectivity to other people and to Mother Earth, to our environment, to our community, and to the world at large. So I want you to imagine from your root chakra, actual roots, like tree roots, sprouting right out of your root chakra, and going down through your body, through your legs, through the top of your feet and now the bottom of your feet, through the floor beneath you, and into Mother Earth. And as soon as those roots hit the earth, they spread out in a million ways. Baby roots just come from the bigger roots, and they just keep going and going and going so that it's rooted solidly to Mother Earth. And those roots are your grounding. This is how you connect to the people you love, to your neighbors, to your community, to your town, to your city, to your state, to your country, and to the people around the world. This is your connectivity to everything that is. So I want you to wiggle your feet a little bit right where they are. And I want you to just feel those roots coming out of the bottom of your feet and connecting to everything as these roots travel around the world through the earth. I want you to see them connecting to every country. I want you to see the globe in front of you and have your roots all over the globe so that you see that physical connection between you and everything else that is. And just wiggle your feet and your toes a little bit. Wake them up. Make sure they feel those roots. Make sure you feel that connectivity. Now I want you to put your hands high in the air. And I want you to feel those roots coming back from all over the globe, back through Mother Earth, to you, to your community, up through the bottom of your feet, and all the way up through your body to your fingertips. And I want you to reach out to the sky above and let those roots just grow everywhere. So now you're connected to everything above you, everything below you, and everything around you all over the world. Now I want you to take 3 breaths, focusing on you inhaling and exhaling the same amount. So on the count of 3, we're going to inhale and then exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And let your hands fall down beside your body and relax. Move your fingers a little and know that you are connected to everything that is, all through the planet, and that you can refresh this connectivity anytime you want by doing the exact same thing or any version of it your mind might make up. You can do this anytime, day or night. Please be seated. Thank you.
Hello, welcome again. As we said before, we are called All People, All Truths, House of Enlightenment. I don't like that thing. Also, I don't like that thing. Turn it off. Oh, there we go. The mic was angry. We are lovingly called a path. We are here to enrich and enlighten the LGBTQIA+ community. We are here to help you become the best version of you that you can. We teach levels of human consciousness as well as universal laws, and we are also starting up for fundraising to develop many outreach programs. We are looking to develop support groups for youth and people who have suffered from different traumas, addiction, sexual abuse, domestic abuse. We are also looking to develop housing for youth who have either had to run away or have been driven from their homes because of who they are. And there are many programs like this for heterosexual youth, and they are often open to queer youth, but there are many hurdles to get through that, and even if you do, it is a very challenging, difficult experience. And we just want to make our youth feel welcome and loved. And we also we have a website. It's called, I don't do well with letters, so it's called APATHOE.com, All People, All Truths, House of Enlightenment. You can reach us there. We would love to hear from you. We are looking for volunteers on all levels. If you have any skills, please reach out to us. If you don't think you have any skills, you probably do. Please reach out to us. And we hope you enjoy the service. Thank you. Now enjoy our chakra teaching with Pastor Jim.
Okay, we'll begin our service today with our invocation. And our invocation is simply this. We call on the source of all that is, and everyone here in person, as well as everyone watching online and whoever might watch on demand later. This video will be posted everywhere on all of our social media platforms, and of course is streaming live, I hope, as we speak. So our invocation is, we call on the source of all that is and everyone's energy watching and here in person to send love and healing and peace. First, we'll go through the people that we know, and we'll call out their name or their circumstance that we want them just to be wrapped in love and healing. And then we'll move on to the LGBTQIA+ community, and we'll light some candles for each sector of our community, including our angel allies. And our angel allies are responsible for our existence, because without them, I don't know honestly what would happen to us. So the A in LGBTQIA is for our allies. And so we will light a candle for our allies, and then we'll light a candle for everyone all over the world for love and healing. When we are done with that, we'll drum. Drumming does about 20 different things to our brain, including lower our blood pressure, calm us, help us focus. So we like to drum as we send love and healing. It helps us focus our energy in a particular path. So all of those that we mention during our invocation, as we drum, we're going to be focusing on all the names or circumstances that we mentioned, and we're going to send love and healing to all those people. So it's a bit of a process, and we'll go through it, and I'll start so you'll understand. And then after I'm done, in turn, everybody can call out a name or a circumstance of people that you know that you're connected with, so that we can include them in our invocation today. So, first of all, for my daughters, Dawn and Julie, and for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, yes, I'm old, for my brother Charlie and his wife and children and their children, yeah, they're old too, and my cousins and their children and their children, because they're pretty old as well. Also, for my wife's son and daughter-in-law, Josh and Allison, who just gave birth this morning to a new baby girl, Stevie, 5 pounds, 10 ounces, after 3 days of labor. So please wrap them all in love and healing. And our Pastor Donna is in California right now with them. In fact, she is probably holding the baby right now. So love and healing to all of them. I'd like to also include some of my people that have crossed over. My mother and my father, my grandmother and my grandfather on both sides, maternal and paternal. My aunts and uncles, and of course, my daughter Dawn. Also included today are my friends that have lost their adult children. So for Marty Clardy, who lost her daughter Nicole, for Vicki Larson, who lost her son Joey, for Vicki Hollingsworth, who lost her son Tommy very recently, for, for Diane Walcott Watson, who lost her son Hans, for my friend Jeannie, who lost her daughter Angie. If you'll please wrap them all in love and healing. Grief is the thing we need healing for most on this planet. So please help me send love and healing to all of my people and all of my family and all of my friends that I know and love around the globe. If I called out everyone's name or circumstance, I'd be here till next Sunday at least. So, in turn, please begin calling out your people, your family, your ancestors, whatever you're led to do today. Call out a name or a circumstance, and please begin.
For my friend John, who recently just lost his brother.
For John, who recently lost his brother.
For Ree and the people in Gaza.
Say it again.
For Ree and the people in Gaza.
For Ree and the people in Gaza.
For my children in Ukraine.
For Deanna's children and Ukraine. Are there more? Okay, for everyone who's here in person, for your entire families, and for everyone watching online, for your entire families, and all of your friends, and all the people you know around the globe, and of course, for both sides of the war, both in Ukraine and Russia, and Israel and Gaza. This is a horrendous time that we're in, and let's please wrap them all in love and healing and give them peace. This is the way to world peace. So let us reach out to them today. Let's begin with, move on to lighting the candles for the LGBTQIA plus community. So first for our, well, maybe not. For our lesbian sisters, and for our gay brothers, and for our bisexual siblings, well, I'm having some trouble with these today, aren't I? There we go. And for our transgender siblings, and for our queer and questioning siblings, and for our intersectional siblings. We get a double or triple whammy. And of course, last but not least, for our angel allies who love and support us every day of our lives and whom we can't live without. And let's just take a breath for a second and move on to all the people around the world, no matter who they are, what race they are, who they love, what they look like, what color they are, what they believe. Regardless of all of that, we are all connected in the universal group of one. And let us understand that we're all human, we're all one and the same. And if you think you don't have things in common with the rest of humanity or certain groups of people, think about this. In 2 years or 20 years or 100 years, you're all going to be dead. So what you have in common is that you're going to fade away, and you'll either be cremated or buried or entombed, and regardless of what that is, at some point in time you're going to turn to dust. And if you don't have anything else in common with every human, you have that. Because you're all going to be dead and gone at some point in time. Not gone completely, just gone from this earthly life. So we are interconnected in the universal group of one. All of life that has ever been, that will ever be, and that is now, we are all connected. When we raise or lower our level of consciousness, we raise or lower the entire group worldwide. And again, this is for all the people that have ever lived, for all that will ever live, and for everyone living today, right now, in the moment. We are all interconnected. We always have been, and we always will be. So let us send energy and love to all the people of the world and of the universe. Love, healing, and peace for a happier worldwide day of love. And now, let us drum.
Now time for our chakra teaching with Pastor Jim.
Thank you, thank you. That was amazing drumming. Thank you, one and all. Okay. So, let's begin with, we have our root chakra candle already burning, and we will light the rest of them, our sacral chakra, our solar plexus, our heart chakra, our throat chakra, our third eye chakra, and last but not all least, our crown chakra. And today, because of the things going on in the world, and because we never get too much of love, I'd like everyone to stand, both at home and in person. And I want to talk about our heart chakra for a moment. You can do this practice anytime, day or night, and it will help you connect to whoever it is you want to send love to, have a better relationship with, surround them in love, whatever kind of love you want to send. Romantic love, mommy love, whatever it is, you can send it anytime you want, and trust me, they will feel it. There have been huge studies done on this. Dr. Larry Brown, B-R-A-U-N, did the most world famous one, and he found that he first had people laying on tables in the same room, one sending love to the other, and he had them on, all technologied up with all the things on them so they could measure their heart rate and their blood pressure and everything. And the person receiving had no idea what the other person was doing, yet their respiration, everything, their blood pressure lowered, everything was better, their heart rate decreased, everything got better in the person receiving, and amazingly, at the same time, the person sending did the same thing. So then he tried them down the hall in separate rooms, and then he tried them across town, and then he tried them clear in Japan to the US. And the same exact results happened no matter where he moved the second person in those experiments to. So, and this is what came out of this. We know that we can connect heart to heart whenever we want. So, I want you to take your hand, and we've all seen that infinity symbol. It looks like a figure 8. And I want you to heart to heart. I want you to envision a person in front of you that you love, that you need to send love to, that you want them to feel your love. And I want you to get the flow of your love going. Envision them in front of you, heart to heart with you. And I just want you to flow your love. Help it go right from you to them and back again. Just back and forth. Let that flow happen. And send that love. And now, I want you to envision in front of you Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Gaza. And I want you to send love to everyone there, regardless of your beliefs, regardless of whose side you're on. None of that matters. They're all humans, and they all need love. Please, love them. Thank you. Let's take a moment and be seated.
Now time for our level up with Pastor Jake.
Thank you, thank you. I want to talk for a moment about peace. In levels of consciousness, enlightenment vibrates at a level of 700 to 1,000. And right beneath that, we call the threshold of enlightenment, and that is peace. And peace resonates at a vibration or a frequency of 600 to 699. And love is certainly what the world needs more of. Unconditional love is 500 to 539. Joy is 540 to 599. Just so you know what's right underneath peace. So the world definitely needs more unconditional love, and you can turn on the news any day of your life and see that. But beyond that, the big picture is about peace. It's about us having peace within us. It's about us resonating peace outward toward the world and to everyone we know and to everyone we don't know. Now, I, as the rest of the world, have been watching what's taking place in Israel and Gaza for the last, today the 8th day, or 9th maybe. And I can't even begin to tell you how many tears I have shed, how my heart constricts and feels for the people on both sides. It's war never has a good end. No matter who wins and who loses, there's never a good end. Everyone loses. Everyone loses, and this is how it's always been. And I guess you might call me a peaceabist, because if I had to go fight in any war, well, I wouldn't. And I respect those that don't. And of course, I respect anyone's calling. If they're called to serve and that's what they're led to do, then so be it. I accept that. But the problem with that is when they serve, they're carrying guns, cannons, they're driving tanks, they're shooting rockets, they're dropping bombs. And this to me is not serving anything. It's serving angry governments. It's serving angry political world leaders. It's serving whatever the ideals and beliefs are of those angry governments that say, drop that bomb, ready, aim, fire. And because our civilians feel obligated and called to serve their country and protect, they grow up knowing that this is what they're supposed to do, especially the men. Women now join the military as well, and in some countries they always have. And it's not about our civilians who join or get drafted into, and in some countries, it's just your obligation. You have no choice. As soon as you're of legal age, you're off to whatever it is, war or peacetime, but you're in a uniform and you are carrying a gun and you are trained to kill. They don't train you to take somebody captive and make sure that they're well taken care of and feed them nice and give them a nice comfy bed, while they're being held outside their own will. They teach you to shoot, and they teach you to shoot to kill. They don't really teach you much else other than how to brutalize and kill. And speak of brutalize, the horrendous acts that have taken place in Israel a week ago by Hamas, the things that have been done, children, old people, women raped everywhere, heads cut off, bodies burned alive, teenagers shot down at a peace rally. All of the things that have been such a horrific, violent act are taking place, have taken place, and now the retaliation has begun. And so now we're bombing the heck out of the Gaza Strip. Not us, but it is us, because we're all connected. So whatever one does, we all do. So how can we have any effect? I'm just one person. What can I do about Israel and Gaza, and how can I fix that? Do I have any power to do that? The truth of the matter is I do, as do each one of you. And how we do that is by sending love and healing and peace to everyone in the world. So I want you to all close your eyes. And we're first going to focus on our breathing. We're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out. When we breathe in, we're going to feel that air rushing into our lungs. And then we're going to hold it for a moment. And then we're going to breathe out again. So let's begin. Breathe in. And hold it. And breathe out. And breathe in. And hold it. And breathe out. And breathe in, and hold it, and breathe out. And now I'd like you to imagine that right in front of your heart is a beautiful rainbow-colored rose. And that every time you breathe in and out, that rose blossoms and produces more petals. So we're going to breathe in and out a few times. And I want you to see those petals growing and growing and growing until there's so many you just can't even imagine that a rainbow-colored rose could even produce that many petals. So let's start. Breathe in. See those petals growing and growing and growing and blossoming. And breathe out. Now inhale as the petals grow and grow and grow. And breathe out. And breathe in and watch the rose petals continue to multiply and grow. And breathe out. And breathe in as the rose petals continue to grow. And breathe out. And I want you to keep breathing. And as you're breathing, I want you to be aware of your rose petals growing and growing and growing. And now there are so many rose petals that they're beginning to shed from the rose. And they're falling down and they're bouncing off your stomach, your hips, your legs. They're hitting the floor around you. And as you breathe, more and more rose petals are growing, which are pushing the older rose petals out, and they're bouncing and falling beautifully, dangling in the air as they fall, and they're piling up on the floor around you. And there's so many of them falling that you are now not standing on the floor anymore. You're rising because the rose petals are lifting you up. And more and more and more of them just keep falling and falling as the rose keeps producing more beautiful rainbow-colored rose petals. And they're falling and falling, and you're rising higher and higher and higher. And now see yourself at the top of the room that you are now in, because the rose petals have lifted you that high. And now I want you to see that a ginormous bubble is filling the room, and it's capturing you and all the rose petals in it. While the rose continues to blossom and make more petals and filling up this big, ginormous bubble with rose petals. And now that bubble is flying through the roof and over your community. And as this is happening, you are in control of this ginormous bubble. You don't need a steering wheel because you can steer it with your mind. And it's getting more and more full of rose petals as you go. And now you have a magical way of taking those rose petals and throwing them down to the earth below you, all over your community. So now you're using your hands and you're throwing the rose petals over and over and over again. You're throwing them on your neighbors, you're throwing them on the animals and the trees and the buildings, and you're covering your whole community with your rainbow-colored rose petals. And as you're doing this, more and more and more are filling up your big bubble. That ginormous bubble as big as a house, and it's just full of rose petals, and you're throwing them, just tossing them down, and they're floating through the air like magic and falling upon everyone in your community. And now I want you to imagine whatever state you're in. Here in person, we're in Michigan. So for those of you here in person, I want you to imagine in front of you the map of Michigan. And I want you to see you and your ginormous bubble floating above the state of Michigan, and you taking your rose petals and throwing them all over the state, just tossing them out, and they're floating down through the sky like magic, and they're landing on everybody and everything in the state of Michigan. And you're just tossing those out, and you're tossing them out, and your magical rainbow rose keeps producing more and more and more petals, and you know in your heart that you can never run out of these petals. So you're just throwing them out and throwing more and more and more, and now see the map of the United States in front of you. Envision that. Now start tossing, because you need to cover the entire United States with your rainbow-colored rose petals. Keep tossing them. Make sure you get every single state. Get them all. And now I want you to see Canada and Mexico attached to the United States as they are. And I want you to cover Canada and Mexico with your rose-colored petals, knowing always that there are more and more and more being produced by your magical rainbow-colored rose that is at your heart. Your love energy and peace energy and healing energy from your heart controls your magical rose. And all of those petals are your love and your healing and your peacefulness being scattered all over all three of these countries now. And now I want you to include every nation, every country in the world. I want you to see the globe floating out in front of you. And I want you to cover the entire thing with your rainbow rose petals. Just let them pour out of your bubble. Pour them, let them fall. Cover the entire world with your love and healing and peace. And just keep sending those rose petals down from your bubble as though you're in outer space and the globe is in front of you and you can cover every corner of the earth. And I want you to pay special attention to Israel and Gaza and make sure you coat them extra, 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 extra much. And then I want you to pay extra attention to Ukraine and Russia. And I want you to make sure you coat them extra, 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 extra much. And remember that every one of these rose petals are, in fact, your love, your healing, and your peacefulness. This is your energy that you are sending around the world and to these war-driven countries that are in the midst of killing and trying to survive at the same time. Let's cover them in our love and healing and peace and keep it going. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Let your love saturate the entire world. Let us heal the world. Fill it with love and let it be peaceful. This is how we make peace. This is perhaps the only way that we make peace. As those petals continue to grow and you continue to spread them all over the globe, I want you to focus for a moment on all that energy, the additional energy, not what you've just put out there, all the energy that you are using to create these rose petals. I want you to feel that it goes out with your rose petals and then it flows back to you again, back to each of the countries that you've envisioned, back to your community, back to you. This love and healing and peace never runs out of you. It goes out and it comes back, and it goes out and it comes back. And you can't get back what you don't send. It in and of itself is reciprocal to you. What you send out will multiply and come back to you. You've probably all heard in your lifetimes, you get things back tenfold. When you put good into the world, it comes back tenfold. And I believe that's true, only I think it's a lot more than tenfold. And I want you to know that the love and the healing and the peace that you send out is going to come back to you over and over and over again. It's manifestation at its finest. So you're never going to run out. You have plenty to spare. You are a bottomless pit of love and healing and peace. So send out every bit that you can bring yourself to send out. And then you will also get it back. In addition to the people that you touch with your love and your healing and your peace, they will find a way to send it back to you. And the love and healing and peace will just keep multiplying itself as it comes back to you, so that you can just continue putting it around the world. Please know that this is a meditation for world peace. This is driven by your love, healing, and peace energy that comes from inside you. And inside you is a bottomless pit of love and healing and peace. Please open your eyes and stand for our benediction. Please repeat after me. Peace to my brothers.
Peace to my brothers.
Peace to my sisters.
Peace to my sisters.
Peace to my siblings.
Peace to my siblings.
Peace to the whole world.
Peace to the whole world.
And peace to me.
And peace to me.
Thank you. Please stay after for our drum circle for world peace. Let us drum. you give us a heartbeat?